For years, we've talked about something called a decision accelerator, which is a process where you get a lot of computer geeks and you get a lot of information and you get policymakers and decision makers in a room and you drive a process so that they reach consensus and get to decision. It has worked very, very well in all sorts of circumstances, with one exception. When you're finished with it, they actually do. They generate decisions, and then they go away, and it doesn't happen. Okay, so you got lots of decisions made, but you didn't get action. And so now what we do is we are very focused on the concept of action accelerators. And what we've done with everything I just showed you is move into an action accelerator mode, okay, in which we know we've got critical issues, we know we've got new research, and what we're going to try to do is to take all of that and get to the point where actual things start to happen. And we said, we have critical issues, we've got new research, and we have a wealth of experience, all sorts of people we have worked with and talked to over the last year, and we brought them all together at an action accelerator on workforce recruitment and retention on November 25th of last year. And it was a great turnout from all over the state. So 50% of our population was actually from the business community, 62% business and corporations, 15% professional associations, and 23% chambers of commerce. 27% came from the academic community, and 21% from the government community. Okay? And we went through an elaborate program. And what I will tell you is that by the end of this month, I will be able to send to all of you via Mark and the WCA an opportunity to watch the whole thing, okay? You can pick and choose and click on what you want to click on and listen to what you want to hear, but it's all there. And so you'll see Dale Knapp kicking off with an explanation about the work that he's done. And you'll see Mike Boucher, who some of you may know, doing a version of his old Mike Boucher's Upfront program with Deloitte and Dale and myself. But then what we did, and this is where I want to just dwell for a moment here. The first major panel is actually 3 pieces, and it's about high stakes and pain points. And what we said is the words workforce shortage have become trite and hackneyed. We don't even hear them anymore. We don't think about them. And we went to the private sector, healthcare, agriculture, manufacturing, and said, we don't want charts and graphs. I want you to talk about what's happening as a result of work shortages in your particular profession, okay? And we asked all these panelists to tape their introductory comments. And if I can get this done in time with the time frame, I'll show you some of those, very edited down. But so every place you see a face, there's an introductory comment that talks about it. So we did the private sector, and then Dennis Winters did a presentation on the per capita income stuff that I gave you a glimpse of. And then we asked the service sector, public sector, to give their side of what does that look like. And I can't get this video to work, but I have it in a separate box, so if I can get through it, we will do that. But what it means is you will listen to these voices, I guarantee you, and you will discover that workforce shortage really means economic growth shortage. It means healthcare shortage. It means public services shortage. It means education shortage. It means opportunity shortage. It means future shortage. And the clock is ticking. We are talking about needing to be able to do something relatively serious within the next 12 months and the next 24 months. The second major panel said, okay, given all that's going on out there, if we can get moving, if we can get these funds operating, if we can come together and build consensus, what are our priorities? And we had 3 priorities. The first was to support and enhance what's already working in Wisconsin. Okay? The second is to make Wisconsin a preferred destination for residential high-demand workers. And the third priority is to encourage Wisconsin's residential workers to stay in Wisconsin. And again, if I have a moment, I'll play you some of that. We get to this point, and what I will tell you is the next step for us is we have a series of things that we need to do. We need to raise public awareness. We need to strengthen public-private collaborations. We need to build consensus around the need to energize and fund more competition, more competitive recruitment and retention efforts. The game plan now, and we're already in negotiations, is to go around the state into all the different regions and replicate in a shorter form this full-day program that we did in Waukesha. So we want employers to come out, we want you folks to come out, we want the academic community to come out, and we'll cram an hour-long discussion around these issues. And then we're working on getting Steve Walters from Wisconsin I to come also, and then do a second panel with major employers from both the public and private sector to go online and do interviews. My goal, our goal in this process, is to be able for a legislator or a news media person or anybody else to click on any one of the counties you see on that state map and hear an employer talk about what's going on. Hear somebody from the economic development community talk about what's going on. Talk about what we agree on. Talk about how we need to move forward here. My vision, right now, you're here for legislative exchange. The realtors are having government days. The network or the co-op network had government days. A year from now, I want all of those organizations to have this set of issues on your agenda. Our belief is that we need to build consensus and collaboration out around the state, out around the communities, around this issue, and do a legislative exchange at Government Day on the issue of workforce recruitment and retention and why something needs to happen now. We will get to you these videotapes, these interviews. There will be a digital platform that will be updated on a regular basis where you can hear conversations and find out what other folks are doing.